My canary has been acting up lately. He keeps clamoring for freedom, accusing me of not loving him, of merely keeping him as a caged bird. I never took it seriously, until the day he ran straight into the arms of my sworn enemy. That was the first time I truly considered locking him away at a party. A friend's newest plaything swirled her wineglass and taunted, "Miss Song, why didn't you bring your little bird so we could all have a look?" I brushed it off. It's only a canary, nothing worth showing. A sudden thud came from the doorway. A shadow flickered past. I glanced out. A single sunflower lay on the ground, no one in sight. Irritation pricked me. A mere plaything daring to set me up? I emptied my glass over the girl's dress, grabbed my bag and left. By the way, I added over my shoulder, your little pet seems to be defecting to your rival tonight. Shin Yu's face turned to iron. Thanks for the heads up, he muttered. When I reached home, Lin Qinghe sat expressionless on the sofa, eyes red-rimmed. He'd been crying. I set the late-night snack I'd bought on the table. He lifted his head. Song Wanqing, you don't love me at all, do you? I'm just an amusing canary. So the figure at the door had been him. I softened my voice. Ahi, it was only polite nonsense. Don't be petty. His eyes glistened. Polite nonsense? Or the truth wrapped in courtesy? This tantrum was harder to soothe. He glared, challenging me. Marry me then. Prove you mean it. I let go of his hand. I could whisper sweet nothings 10,000 times, but marriage? Impossible. He was a poor boy. My family would never allow him through the gate. I pinched his chin, warning. Even mischief has limits, Lin Qinghe. He stared, stunned. I took my coat and left to drink with Shin Yu, who came without her toy. You're out awfully late, she teased. Won't your bird be angry? I drained my glass. He is angry. Men these days always push their luck. When I returned, he was on the sofa again. Fresh tears. I was tipsy. Before I could reach him, he pulled me down beside him. I stroked his throat. He stiffened, then yielded. I laughed. Bodies never lie. I pressed him beneath me, fingertips tracing rising heat. He caught my wandering hand, half protesting that I touched his teeth to silence him, single-handedly unbuckling his belt. Suddenly he bit my finger, shoved me off, and sat up, cheeks flushed. No marriage, no bed, he said. Stop dreaming. I slapped his hand away. Thousands in this city would kill to warm my sheets. A canary who won't sing? Replaceable. He nodded. I scarlet. Fine. Let someone else do it. He stormed into the night that I thought he'd be back in days. Spoiled birds always return, but this time he meant it. Next morning the villa he'd filled stood empty. Using absence as leverage, he overestimated himself. Before he could crawl back, my mother summoned me to a matchmaking tea, an arranged meeting with a potential husband. Mother, you know I keep one man. The clack of mahjong drifted down the line. Darling, in our circle a kept lover is nothing. They won't mind, she added. But if you keep only one, dispose of him quickly. I hung up, irritated that I did miss Lin Qinghe. But if I kept him alone, he'd be handled. My secretary found several boys who resembled him and stashed them in another villa. They were pretty but clumsy, no match for Qinghe's charm. Somehow photos of my visits surfaced in a lurid gossip spread. Mostly lies, yet an inch of truth lingered. While my PR team scrambled, Qinghe rang, drunk, aggrieved. Song Wanqing, you never loved me. I sulk a little and you collect substitutes? Several at once. Can you even manage? One of me leaves you breathless. He laughed bitterly. And you forgot what day it is. Our anniversary. I'd never cared for dates, but Qinghe insisted every second together mattered. I asked where he was. I'm definitely not sitting outside your gate, he mumbled. That I dashed home. He sat on the steps hugging a bottle, cheeks flushed. Lin Qinghe. He rubbed his eyes. That liar Song Wanqing would never come. I pinched his cheek and kissed his chilled lips. He always blushed so prettily. I have a girlfriend, he stammered. That I laughed, hauled him inside, pinned his wrists, kissed him against the wall. He resisted, then recognized me. Liar, he muttered, but his body answered on instinct. We tumbled into bed. Half conscious, he cradled my face. What am I to you, Xingxing? You like me, right? I couldn't bear the weight in his eyes. Drunk, he was fierce. By dawn his shoulder bore my bite marks. The phone woke me, my mother, ordering me to meet the fiancé Jiang Shiza. I slipped Qinghe's phone from his pocket and unblocked myself, then transferred 2 million to his account. Let him sleep. Jiang Shiza was better looking than the usual specimens, almost handsome, though still short of Qinghe. We treated the marriage as a transaction. A prenup was drafted in minutes. I keep a few others, I warned. They won't disturb our marriage. He smiled, glancing behind me. I've heard, especially one named Lin Qinghe. I shrugged. Pretty things invite affection. Unlike you, Mr. Jiang. Only one pet. I hope he won't crash our wedding. Just as I finished speaking, a glass of cold water water splashed onto my face. Droplets trickled down my collar. I looked up, ready to snap, but saw Lin Qinghe standing before me, his lips trembling. For a moment, guilt flickered through me. How did he get here? Maintaining what little dignity remained, I coldly wiped the water from my face. He stopped acting up. He frowned at me, eyes brimming with unspoken anguish. Over the years, I hadn't wronged him, yet his resentment burned. With unprecedented patience, I tried to soothe him, but he persisted, grilling me relentlessly. This was uncharted territory. Never before had he challenged me, not even when elite suitors orbited us. Turning to Jiang Shiza, I muttered an apology and dragged Lin Qinghe outside, a caged bird with delusions of grandeur. I hissed once we reached the underground garage. My voice sharpened. Know your place. Lin Qinghe froze, then laughed, a hollow sound. Tears glistened in his red-rimmed eyes. What is my place? Song Wanqin? Am I just a pet? A plaything? Frustration clawed at me. I scratched my head, pulled out my phone, and transferred 1 million yuan to him. His phone chimed instantly with a notification. I didn't tell you about the marriage. My fault. If this isn't enough, I'll add a property transfer later. I believed my gesture held genuine conciliation. After all, in our circles, no one indulged their kept men like I did, lowering myself to bargain, offering cash. Surely he'd relent. Instead, my generosity seemed to enrage him further. His body shook as he slammed a fist against a pillar. Blood dripped onto the concrete. I always saw you as my girlfriend, he choked out, but you treat me like trash. I'm done. Stumbling backward, he walked away without looking back. Watching him disappear, I scoffed internally. Replacements abound. I won't miss one man. His departure delayed my arranged marriage to Jiang Shiza. My family wanted to teach Lin Qinghe a lesson, but I blocked them. My mother lounged on the sofa, casually observing me. Darling daughter, you're not actually falling for him, are you? Her voice turned proverbial. Obsession undoes women. I cut her off sharply. Mind your own affairs. Stay out of my company, and your new boy toy. She fell silent, chastened, unable to bear her presence. I retreated to a long-neglected villa where my staff had stashed several replacements, men curated to resemble Lin Qinghe. Their shock at my arrival shifted to nervous delight. They'd been effectively exiled lately. Sitting stiffly on the couch, I announced, I'm hungry. Flustered, they scrambled to cook. Their clumsy efforts disgusted me. Nothing compared to Lin's meals. My disapproval hung thick in the air. One brave soul, the closest lookalike, named Qi Lian, tentatively asked, didn't you like it, Miss Song? I nodded curtly. You pale next to my last companion. Silence engulfed the room. Someone ventured. What was he like? My gaze swept them. Better at pleasing me. That night, only Qi Lian stirred fleeting interest. The rest, I had my secretary pay off. Strangely, I miss Lin Qinghe, his cooking perhaps. Ridiculous, I scoffed. A CEO pining over a pretty face and skilled hands? Yet when investigators failed to trace him, as if he'd vanished, I forced myself to seek Lin's ghost in Qi Lian. But imitations lacked essence. Even replicating Lin's outfits felt hollow. Your posture's awful, I criticized. No crossing legs like Lin did. Exasperated, Qi Lian erupted, knocking over a table. That bastard's alive. Why train clones instead of keeping the real thing? You people are insane. He stormed off, leaving me emptier than ever. A villain straight out of a soap opera. That my friend Xinyu arrived with her usual entourage, including the man who'd lured Lin away. Seeing him twisted my stomach. Before I could glare, she probed. Missing him? Venting. I downed my drink, drowning absurd longing. Partying hard need reasons? She smirked. Heard your rival got a new toy. Want to scout? Zhao Qingqing's paramour. I scoffed. Who'd stoop so low? We drank alone after her bodyguard banned alcohol. Drunk and unsteady, Xinyu guided me outside, only to confront Zhao Qingqing herself. She spotted me, smirked, wrapped her arms around someone's neck, and kissed him brazenly. My blood ran cold. Her new toy wasn't a stranger. It was Lin Qinghe. No wonder searches failed. She'd hidden him well. From me to her, the drop from my world to hers wasn't just social. It was cosmic. I brushed off Xinyu's hand that had been steadying me, stumbling slightly as I walked over. Lin Qinghe, you cheated on me. My gaze locked onto Zhao Qingqing's hand intertwined with his. It made my stomach turn. Right then, all I wanted was to yank her claw-like grip away from him. Lin Qinghe looked at me with such a storm of emotions in his eyes, but my mind was too foggy with liquor to decipher them. Inopportunely, Zhao Qingqing smirked at me. Miss Song, true love is priceless, she purred. Ha, talk about hypocrisy. She lectured me on love? I wheeled toward Lin Qinghe, grabbing his wrist. Come with me, I demanded, but he didn't budge. His head hung low as he pried my fingers off, a bitter laugh escaping him. Song Wanching, do you really think I'm unworthy of anyone's affection? Or do you believe I'm so rotten only you would stoop to want me? I couldn't fathom why he twisted my words like that. Yet arguing here, surrounded by prying eyes, was the last thing I wanted. Gripping his wrist again, I dragged him toward the stairwell, slamming the door shut behind us. Shouts echoed outside, muffled by steel. He lit a cigarette, the orange glow briefly illuminating our faces. When had he started smoking? Never, not around me anyway. Fuming, I snatched it from his lips, crushing it between my fingers. Who taught you this? My irritation flared hotter. These secrets, he could have shared them. Nobody, he muttered. Picked it up after. Well, after you kicked me to the curb. Seizing the rest of his pack, I pressed them into his palm, my voice softening. I've sent everyone away. Move back home. In the dimness, his eyes glinted, hopeful yet terrified. As what? My silence answered louder than words. Marriage wasn't on the table. I refused to lie. He shook his head, shadows swallowing his expression as he slid past me. That instant, cold dread seized me. If he walks out now, I'll never see him again. Desperate, I clutched his arm, hauling him close. He shoved me back roughly, striving for Zhao Qingqing without a backward glance. Their clasped hands disgusted me. My stomach revolted, while burned my throat. For the first time ever, Lin Qinghe utterly ignored me. All night, I dissected his anger online, drowning in self-help articles screaming grovel, beg, cling. Screw that. Next morning, armed with takeout breakfast, I camped outside his hotel. Hardly pathetic, right? When he emerged, I thrust the bag forward. No cilantro, I stated. His brow arched. Since when did he hate cilantro? Fishing out a bun, I offered again. He wouldn't take it. Tail following, I noticed him slowing pace. Deliberately, then came the gut punch. He met Zhao Qingqing downtown. Like a shadow, I trailed them, their laughter grating nails down chalkboards. By dusk, she summoned me to dinner. Reluctantly, I joined, only to watch her lord over the menu. Did you really date him? She scoffed. None of these dishes are his favorites. Flashing Lin Qinghe a sugary smile, I passed the menu his way. Order what you want. Silence. She prattled on about lakeside romantic strolls, their alleged meet-cute spot. My nail dug half-moons in my palm studying him. He loaded her plate, let her stroke his ring, my ring. Lie detector activated, his actions screamed mine. At the lake, she sent him off for snacks, smug command dripping off her. Planting stiletto heel on mine, she taunted, begged nicely, Song Wanching, maybe I'll gift him back. Jerking my foot free, I poked her shoulder. Your tricks won't work. He's my man. Her shriek followed. She toppled backward. From behind, someone roared, yanking her up protectively. Lin Qinghe glared daggers at me. Can't handle rejection? Now you harass innocent people? His arm shielded her like armor. We're together. Stop fantasizing. That look, it flayed open old wounds. Tears prickled. First time since running solo at work. Blinking fast, I grabbed his hand, rubbing thumb over my ring. If she's your girl, why wear my band? My lips crashed toward his. He bit out. Stop. The ring flew spinning into black water. Splash. Before rational thought kicked in, I dove after it. Waterlogged clothes dragged me down. Lungs screamed. Just as fingers brushed metal, strong arms hauled me gasping to shore. Kicking free, I lunged back, only to be swept skyward in muscular arms. A furious voice growled in my ear. You'd drown yourself just to manipulate me? Relief shattered tension. I clung tighter, soaked and shivering against him. Zhao Qingqing dashed over from the shore, looking as if my stunt had scared her half to death. Once she saw I was okay, she started hopping in place, shrieking, Song Wanching, you've actually stooped to a pity play. Humph, pathetic. You really fell for this man. I shot her a warning glare. One more word and I'd bankrupt the Zhao family by tomorrow. She read the message, turned on her heel, and fell silent. I seized Lin Qinghe's wrist, blinked up at him through wet lashes. The ring's gone. Marry me and I'll make you a new one. He froze, staring as if I'd short-circuited his brain. Poor timid thing. Hadn't he been the one begging for marriage? I fisted his damp collar, tipped his chin, and kissed him. His mouth might have forgotten words, but it still remembered how to kiss. He raked my wet hair, took control, rough and hungry. Only when I was breathless did I pull back. His face flushed crimson. I didn't mean to reflex. Right. I must have been insane. By the time my brain caught up, I was downstairs with the household registry booklet in my hand. I guess I do care about Lin Qinghe more than a little. Marriage is just a tool to me anyway. Using it to leash him sounds convenient. As for the family uproar, troublesome, but not impossible. He appeared in a stiff new suit, walking toward my car as if it were a plank. Men say no with their mouths, mean yes with their feet. I dragged him to the Civil Affairs Bureau. His clenched jaw almost made the clerk think I was coercing him. We got the red book anyway. What about your family? He asked, hesitant. Snow began to fall. He lifted a hand to shield my head. First winter as husband and wife. My business, I said. That set him off again. He stalked away in the snow. I informed mother. She wasn't shocked, only warned me to brace for father. Sure enough, the next summons came. Come home. I would have demanded compensation from the culprit, but he was giving me the silent treatment, so I faced the Song mansion alone. Snow piled high. Father, furious, stripped my shares. I stood in the courtyard, white flakes layering my shoulders. Through the glass I saw mother pleading. Once I'd have walked away. Instead I knelt in the drift. By tonight the whole elite circle would laugh. The Iron Queen groveling for a man. Let them. Dad, the certificate is legal. Take your anger out on me now. When your son-in-law visits, spare him. Father shot to his feet, unable to fathom how his daughter, raised on champagne and cynicism, had hardened into this stubborn creature. I knelt from morning till dusk while snow fell, stopped, fell again. Cold seeped into bone. The world blurred. Hallucination. Lin Qinghe's face, his voice calling my name. People say in agony we picture the one we care for most. Apparently that's him. Arm scooped me up. Burning skin met mine. Lin Qinghe, real, carried me to the car, blasted the heater, drove off. Suffering is the man's job, he whispered, then disappeared back into the snow. I woke in our villa, ours now. Lin Qinghe's hair still damp, head tilted in a radiant smile. Xing, capable man. He'd already settled my parents. I nuzzled his chest, humming. He stopped my wandering hand. Don't move. You caught a chill today. I tapped his bobbing Adam's apple. He pinned my wrist and swept a dark gaze over me. I used to love teasing him. I know every sensitive inch. This time I overplayed. He pinned me beneath him, limbs locked, heart hammering. I closed my eyes, only to be rolled into a cocoon of quilt and carried out. Lin Qinghe, are you even a man? I howled. Later mother told me, after carrying me off, he knelt in the courtyard till nightfall and signed a prenup, refusing a cent of family money. A fool, a pure-hearted fool. He fussed over our wedding more anxiously than I did. Plans, revisions, sleepless nights. Time flew. In white lace, I walked the aisle on mother's arm. In the pew sat my former fiancé with the girl who'd once come to my office. They looked happy. Lin Qinghe took my hand, squeezed gently. Your husband's right here. Eyes off other men. Promoted to husband and still jealous. We spoke our vows. He to love and cherish. I to do the same. At last alone. Yet he wasn't rushing anything. Husband, it's our wedding night. What are you doing? I hooked his ankle with my foot. He trapped my ankle, laughing low. Cooking. But he wasn't in the kitchen, and he held no ingredients. I raised an eyebrow. He smiled. Slow and wicked. Cooking something to feed you. Snow whirled outside. Our first married winter. There will be a second, a third, countless winters together.